Hi Flosstube, I'm Annie and I am the Proper Stitcher, and welcome to episode 90. If this is your first time joining me, I am so glad you stopped by today. This is a channel where I like to talk about cross stitch and quilting and hopefully give you inspiration to fully finish your projects. And if you're returning, thank you so much for your continued support. All of your comments and messages you send my way, I appreciate each and every one of you. I have missed a week of Flosstube again. We were out of town last week. We were on spring break. Gray came home from college. We left the next day and we went to Florida. So we were on vacation last week, and so I missed a week. So here we are 2 weeks later, and it is Friday. So I think what I'm going to do going forward is let Friday be my new day of Flosstube. So that's the day that I plan on either recording Flosstube or uploading my video on Fridays. It just seems that Thursdays are busy around my house. It's usually the dog's bath day. It's usually the day I clean the house. It's usually things are just a little hectic here on Thursdays. So let's see how Fridays work so that maybe I can get back on a regular schedule. So this is, like I said, episode 90. We're coming up on my 2-year Flosstube anniversary. April the 1st will be 2 years that I have been recording Flosstubes, and what a fun 2 years it has been. Thank you all so much for coming along with me on this journey, for all of your support, for sharing my channel, for coming back to me every week, for supporting me. I just really do appreciate you as a viewer, you as for those of you who send me things to use as giveaways, for other Flosstubers who support my channel. I just appreciate each and every one of you. And so on April the 1st, that'll be 2 years. So I'll try to think of something special that we can do for our 2-year anniversary, but I just can't believe it's been 2 years. It goes by so fast. But anyway, so let's get into today's video. I am just so excited to share with you. I have some whips to go over with you. I have a stitch along coming up I want to tell you about. Some dates for a meet and greet. I have some happy mail that came in. I have an antique sampler that I just got in the mail while I was out of town. And then we have our giveaways. So grab a pen and paper, grab your cross stitch, your favorite beverage, all those wonderful things, and let's just jump right in. So even though I was on vacation, you would think that I would have a lot of time to cross stitch or to catch up on some projects, but that was not the case. I did not get as much stitching done while we were at the beach as I had hoped. One of my little secrets is I need a lot of light to stitch. I need a magnifying lamp, I need glasses, my readers, and I just need a certain setup for me to stitch. And it's hard to travel with all of that when you were with the family. If I'm traveling by myself, I usually bring my floor lamp or extra lights, but when we have everybody else's luggage in the car, I don't want to throw in all of my other stuff because it takes up some room that we need for other things. So when I travel with the family, I usually bring things that are on 28 count or 32 count because I tend to see those a little bit better. But even this time I brought a couple of things to work on, but we were just having a good time being together. I didn't want to pull away from that to stitch. So I didn't get as much stitching done as I had hoped, but I did get some stitching done since I've been home, and I want to share that with you. So here are my projects. I have been working on Plum Street Samplers Soul Sisters, and I really am close to a finish on this one. This has been a really fun stitch. I love the shape of it, the size of it, the details. It's a lot of stitching, even though it doesn't look like it. The houses, that's a lot of fill in. The blue sky in the background, that's a lot of fill in. So this is taking me a little bit longer than I'd hoped, but it's so much fun. So let me show you my progress. I have to stand up. I don't know why I'm all crunched in today. Okay, so here is my progress. So I am stitching this on 37 count Russian Tea Cake by Legacy Linen. This is one of my new to me favorite linens, but this is my progress. I am almost finished filling in this house. And I have her head. I stitched the head. The last time I showed you this piece, she didn't have a head. So she has a head now. And I just have a little bit left here, and then I will work on this side. But I love the detail of those two girls. They are so cute. You can see my thread. So I'll finish this, and then all I have left to do is the top. And then the top, it's just these little flowers. So hopefully by next week I'll have a finish to share with you. This I'm stitching for a model stitch for Stitch Etc., which is a needlework shop in Farmington, Missouri. So this will be going to my friend Kim Gavlik, and hopefully she'll put it in her store. I started stitching it, I thought I was stitching it for myself, and then Gray looked at it and she said, well, that's a friendship piece. You should send that to a friend. You don't stitch yourself a friend piece. And I'm like, but I like it. So I am stitching this, and I'm passing it on to Kim Gavlik with Stitch Etc. So I love it, and that blue just matches her logo, so I think it'll be a beautiful piece for her to have in her store. I've said this before about Plum Street Sampler pieces. The houses are amazing. Just Paulette does a beautiful job with her houses, but they're big and they're a lot of fill-in. So if you have not stitched a Plum Street Sampler design before and you want to, really look at all the houses. Make sure that it is one that you like a lot, because it's usually the focal piece of that pattern. So it's usually a lot of fill-in or a pattern inside the house or inside the building itself. Beautiful pieces, but just make sure that just study all of them before you make a selection, because they're all so detailed and very big, but beautiful. So hopefully I will have this done soon, but I am stitching this with 1 strand of floss over 2. It is a 37 count. So 37 count I will stitch using 1 strand of floss. So here are all the colors. I'm using all the called for colors, which is a blend of DMC floss. The deep fennel is that blue. That is a classic Colorworks. And the others are Weeks Dye Works. So here are all the colors. I still have the parchment. This is the color for the house, parchment. But here are all the colors, and they're just so beautiful. Aren't those pretty? So pretty. They look gorgeous together, but this deep fennel is so much fun to stitch with. And I just love the variegation and the way it looks in the background. So hopefully I'll have that finished next week, and then I will have this one professionally framed since it's going in her store. So that one is a lot of fun. Soul Sisters by Plum Street Samplers. And the next one I worked on in the car on the trip, the trip to Florida. So this one is the latest Prairie Schooler Santa. And little story about these. I think I've shared this with y'all, but it was been so long ago, probably one of my first videos, but this is what I started. I started the Prairie Schooler this year, 2023 Santa, and I love him. He's absolutely perfect. I love those snowflakes, so pretty. But what I do with my Prairie Schooler Santas is I keep them all in a bag. Well, I have one project bag full of all the Santas. I have all the annual Santas going back to the very first one. when Prairie Schooler announced that they were retiring, was around the time I started stitching again. I returned to stitching, and I had just found Prairie Schooler. And when I heard that they were retiring, I was told, or someone suggested, you should, if there are any Prairie Schoolers you want, you should probably get them now because they'll be out of print. Well, since then they've reprinted some, but they're not on the thick cardstock. So what I did is I went on a hunt. I did the typical rabbit hole that a lot of us cross stitchers do, and I found all of the Santas. It took a lot of time. It took time looking on the stash unloading sites, to the internet, to eBay, to local needlework stores. I called a lot of needlework stores until I built up the collection of all the Santas. And when I did that, I contacted my needlework store that I go to. It's in Johnson City, Tennessee, which is about an hour and a half away from me. But I called the girls up at Johnson City. Cross Stitch and Crafts is the name of the store. I'll link them below. And I called them and I said, I have all the Santas. I want to stitch them all. And this is before I knew a lot about the different types of linen and fabric. I just, if it was listed on the pattern, I recommended the used fabric or colors, I stuck with it. I didn't change anything. And so I read on the directions that they use the Davos linen, or Davos, D-A-V-O-S linen or fabric. So I called Amy at Cross Stitch and Crafts and I said, I want that fabric because that's what they used on all of the Santas. So what they did for me is they ordered the fabric that I needed. They cut all of the fabric that I needed, and they serged all the fabric that I needed. So then I started stitching on the fabric, and it's not my favorite. And I've had someone recently ask this question, which is why I'm going through this whole story with you, but someone emailed me and asked me why I use this fabric on these Santas. Well, the reason is because I was new returning to cross stitch, and that's just what I had. But Amy at Cross Stitch and Crafts ordered all of it, cut it all, searched it all. So I have the perfect size. I think I have about 50 of these squares. So I have so much invested in it that I don't want to switch the linen now and start stitching on something else because I already have this. So that's the story of why I use the Davos linen or fabric for my Santas. Kim at Stitch Etc., she stitches it on 7 count, and so she makes big pillows. I have seen people use 28 count even weave. So many choices you can do, but that's the story of why I use this fabric for my Santas. So another reason that I keep I keep at least 3 of the Santas in one bag with all the floss, because the DMC is pretty much the same on all of them, is it's my go-to bag. So like I said, I know I can see stitching it. I don't need a magnifier. I don't need a lot of light. I just need my readers, and I can stitch in the car on these Santas. I can stitch anywhere with these. So it's my go-to bag. So I grab the bag. It has everything I need in it. When I want to switch out the Santas, I do. I don't have all of them in this bag I travel with. So enough of that. Here is my progress on the 2023 Santa, and I just love his little candy canes in his belt. But I didn't get very far. The roads in Alabama were too bumpy for me to focus, but I did from his belt down to the green band is the next line that goes, the bottom of his coat. So this is so cute. I just love it. Love it. So that one I worked on, and in this bag, when I was getting this ready, I realized I have another one that I started probably on our last trip, and that is this Santa. This is 2008 Santa. And then this is my progress on him. But these are really easy to stitch, simple colors, all the same reds, same greens, same color for his boots. And they're just easy to stitch. So that is the other Santa that I worked on. So those are the two. And then in this bag, I just happened to have this one. This is from 1996. I guess I decided to start him at some point, but I haven't started him yet. But I keep them all in my Dot Dot Goose Christmas bag, and I love this. It has the the little floss keeper. I have all my floss in here. I have extra floss, and it's just a cute bag. I hope that Denise makes this again this year, but a cute bag. I love that vintage fabric. So, Prairie Schooler Santa. So much fun to stitch these, and I am loving the new one. My other WIP that I worked on this week was Floral Motif Sampler by the Scarlet House. So this one was one that I wanted to work on, or I felt like working on, because I wanted to work with some more on that border. The border is a pretty simple border, and I just wanted to get more of it done, so that when I feel like when the border is done and complete, then it'll be easy for me to move around if I want to move around. Of course, I need to be careful when I do that. It seems like every time I jump around within a sampler, that's when I make mistakes, because of the counting part. The counting is hard part. So, but that's in my mind, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to try to finish the border so that I can then jump around a little bit within. But here's my progress. So what I worked on this past week, I did get this little bitty flower done, and I finished, I don't think I've shown this part since the last time. I finished this, the flowers in that basket, and then I stitched this little flower. And then the border, I worked some more on the top, and you can see it's just a really simple border. You can get into a rhythm very easily. It's just threes. It's 3, 3 up, 3 down, 3 across, 3 up, 3 down. And then so I did the border across the top, and now I'm going straight down. And we can just all hold our breath that it will connect. That is always the moment of truth, is when everything connects. So I am stitching this on 40 count mallow by Picture This Plus. I am using all of the called for floss, and I am using 1 strand of floss over 2. Let me show you the floss again. I love the floss. It's so pretty. All these colors just look so pretty together, and I am very, very happy with how this is turning out. I just love the way all of these colors are just coming together. The reds, the greens, the peaches, the salmon colors, even this is soot, and it's so pretty on a flower. I love it. Very pretty. So a lot of fun. I enjoy this. Each little motif is like a little happy finish. So it's perfect for someone like me who gets a little distracted with some of my stitching. So that is Scarlet House Floral Motif Sampler. And I have a surprise for y'all today. That is in my Happy Mail. I have one of these to give away to you today, the Floral Motif Sampler. So I'll show that to you in a minute. But that is my other WIP. And then the last WIP to share with you, I worked a little bit on a Quaker Christmas. This is from Bygone Stitches. And this is a stitch along that I have been working on for almost 2 years now. I really need to get busy on this. And so I was talking to my friend Melissa with Stitch with Mel, and she said, hey, you have time to talk tonight? We can stitch and talk. And I was like, sure. So since she's also stitching this, I decided to pull this out. I don't think she was stitching on it that night, but I said, I'm working on Quaker Christmas, but she's so much farther along than I am. But here's my progress. And I'll show you what I worked on since I last saw you. So this I am stitching on 40 count cream Edinburgh linen. I'm using the called for floss, which is Classic Colorworks. Balsam Fir is the green, and then the red is Cupid. But since I last saw you, I stitched this big snowflake. And let me tell you, that was hard for me. I don't know if it's because it's been a while since I looked at this pattern, or if it was the counting on this pattern, but I really thought someone was going to get hurt stitching that motif. It took me longer than it should have, but I was so glad to get it done. And it is a beautiful motif. but look at how sweet that is. I love each one of these. I just love Quaker samplers, but this is where I am on the pattern. It was this one right here. So, one of my favorites, and I say that when I pull it out. Why don't I stitch this more often? It's just such a big piece that I kind of get lost in all of the colors, and I mean all the motifs on it. So the color, it's just 3 colors. I have seen so many people stitch this with 1 color. I've seen multiple colors. Some people have even removed the Merry Christmas and have made this a family sampler and put their family name there. So many different things you can do. But I am using all the called for colors. So that's Balsam Fir is the green, Yield Gold, and the red is Cupid. And these are all classic color works. I kitted this up about, let's see, 7 years ago. I think in 2017 I kitted this up, maybe 2016. And when I did that, the shop owner recommended that I go ahead and buy all of the green or whatever the main color was, so that I could have the same dye lot. So there are about 12 skeins of the green. So I'm glad I did that, because since it took me so long to work on this, if I had just bought 1 or 2, the dye lots probably would not be the same today as they were when I started it. So Quaker Christmas, Bygone Stitches. I will definitely bring this out a little bit more, but I love seeing some of these holes being filled in. So it's just so much fun. So much fun. So those are all of my whips from this past 2 weeks. And I need to get busy on some of them. Okay, so let's go into some dates and some information of some of my stitch along that's coming up. So many of you know that I just always have to have a JBW Designs pattern in the works. I have several that are kitted up I've been working on, but I really cannot wait any longer. I need to start the Eliza French birds. So this was a release this market. Judy Whitman with JBW Designs released this at market, and it was a smashing hit. It is so beautiful in person. I couldn't stop looking at it. It's such a beautiful little sweet sampler. Those pink birds, the berries, the greenery, so pretty. So I am starting a stitch along. If you would like to join us, I will tell you who else is joining us, but we are starting April the 1st. So start gathering your supplies. It can be a start along. You know, you may not have time to stitch the whole thing now, but if you want to start with us, it would be so much fun, and we would love to have you. But here are the floss tubers that I have talked into joining me. And I have to enable even floss tubers, right? So Celeste with Celeste Creates is joining us. Merritt Crawford with the Just Because Buzz is joining us. Kim Goldman with the Contented Needleworker, Kim, she's joining us. And I believe Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch is joining us. I messaged her and she said she loves it. She would love to join us. She and I were talking about this piece at market, and we just love it. Absolutely love it. So I am waiting on my supplies to get here. I really was thinking I might cheat and start a little early, but I'm going to try to be good and wait till April the 1st. But I'll tell you some information about the pattern. So it is here's the original. Isn't that just beautiful? Judy has such an eye for finding beautiful pieces. Excuse me. And it is not a big sampler. Let me tell you this stitch count. The stitch count is 76 stitches wide, 93 stitches high. So if you stitch this on 36 count linen, the finished size would be 4.2 inches by 5.1 inches. On 32 count linen, it would be 4.75 by 5.8. On 28 count, it would be 5.4 by 6.6. Such a sweet size. Let's see, she does have DMC colors on here that you can use. There are also the colors, the over dyes are Classic Color Works and Weeks Dye Works. So lots of choices for you. Just a great sampler. The original was stitched in 1849, and Eliza was 17 years old when she stitched it. So if you would like to join us, we are starting April the 1st. We are using the hashtag on Instagram. It is going to be hashtag JBW Eliza French Bird SAL. I love using the hashtag so I can see everyone's progress. It's so much fun to see what everybody is stitching, what linen they decided to use, if you've made any color changes. It's a great way to encourage each other to work on your piece. So April 1st, Eliza French Birds, JBW Designs. Thank you, Judy, for another beautiful pattern. So I will hopefully have all of my supplies in. I am not sure what linen I will use. It'll probably be 36 count, and it'll probably be for my stash, and then I will wait on my floss to come in. So, all right, let's do our giveaways from last time. Last time I asked you to tell me where you like to spend your Stitchy money. I am a firm believer of supporting all of our shops, right? I believe in supporting brick and mortar stores. I like to help the small businesses, and I like to help the big businesses because they help all of them help my channel too. But I like spreading the love, and somebody may have something at one store that another store doesn't have, or either they're sold out or they have something exclusive at their shop. So it's good to just be familiar with the shops that are around the country and around the world. So if you're traveling or if you need to order something, you have an idea of where to get certain things. So if you are looking for a shop or if you need some ideas, you can go to the last video and read through the comments and get some great suggestions for where people like to spend their Stitchy money. So here we go. Here are the winners. For French Country Bunny, JBW Designs, this was my copy, but there are no marks on it, but this is my copy. This goes to Madonna K. Sweeney. Madonna K. Sweeney. Number 2 is a board, a Tyler board from Stitch Etc. This goes to Allison Wells. Allison Wells. Number 3 is a Stitching with the Housewives pattern. This is Joy to the World. This goes to Desiree Feister, P-H-E-I-S-T-E-R, Desiree. Number 4 is a Little Robin Designs. This is Christmas at Grandma's 1. I need to leave my glasses on. Leah, and that's L-E-A, Richardson. And number 5 is another Little Robin's design, Christmas Magic Sampler. This goes to Beck Reed. I don't know if I left your Y off of your name, Becky, or maybe it's Beck. I don't know. Beck Reed, R-E-E-D. So if I called your name, email me at theproperstitcher@gmail.com, send me your address, and let me know what you want, and I will get it in the mail to you. Well, today's Friday, so probably be sometime next week. So just send me your information. If you would like to enter a giveaway, I will do the giveaways at the end of this video, but if you would like to enter the giveaway, be a subscriber to my channel, like the video, and answer the question below with the number that you would like to be entered to win. So, okay, let's go into my Happy Mail because I can't wait to share this with you. I have a very sweet box here, and it is heavy. So I was not expecting this box in the mail. This came from a viewer who won a giveaway back in January, and her name is Marls, M-A-R-L-Y-S, Marls, I think I'm saying that right. She won a giveaway, and she surprised me with this box full of patterns. In her note, she said that these are duplicates from her stash, and we all know how easy that is to have duplicates in our stash. But she has so many duplicates or patterns that she knows she's not going to stitch, and so she has shared them with us. They will either go into future giveaways or they will be used for projects. But I had to giggle a little bit because even within her duplicates. She had duplicates. So in this box, there are some of these patterns there too. But I just got the box today, so I'm kind of glad that I didn't get to record yesterday because I wouldn't have had this to share with you today. But some of these will be giveaways today. But here is the Scarlet House motif, floral motif sampler. So I'm so excited. That's going to be one of our giveaways today. So I'm going to pull these out. We have Plum Street samplers in here. She sent 2 of these of the red cottage. So that's going to be a giveaway today. We have a stack of Blackbird design books. I cannot wait to go through all of these. We have Bent Creek. We have Twin Peak Primitives, some Teresa Kogut. So many wonderful books. This is a very beautiful book. This has come to the garden. We even have a Hands Across the Sea in here. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Barbara Anna designs. We have, I'm not going to go through all of them because it is a big box. But we have Barbara Anna. We have some With Thy Needle and Thread. Stacy Nash. Plum Street. Lindy Stitches. Little House Needleworks. I'll put that one in there for today too. An old Plum Street samplers. This is Plum Street. This is when it was Plum Street Antiques. Isn't that wonderful? This is so nice and so generous. We have some Shakespeare's Peddler, Kathy Barrick, all of the fabulous ones, right? I mean, we've got Samplers Not Forgotten. Oh, there we go. So I cannot wait to dig through this box. I cannot wait to share it with you all. And I just think it's just, we need to give Marls just an absolute big thank you and a generous, what a generous gift to get in the mail. I'm going to put this on the floor. But some of those will be in today's giveaways too. So I also got a box from Fat Quarter Shop. So Fat Quarter Shop sends us items for giveaways, and they've done that since the beginning of my channel, and they have been so generous and such a generous supporter of my channel as well as a lot of people have. But here is this month's box. So some of these will be today's giveaway, and some of these will be in our 2-year anniversary video too. So this is Chicken Club. This is their monthly series, our monthly Stitch Club that they have. It's the Chicken Club series. This is number 2 of 12. So this will be every month that they have a release. And this is from Lori Holt. This is by Lori Holt, excuse me. But this is the Chicken Club cross stitch pattern. This is number 2. This is Florence. Isn't that cute? So we have 2 of those. They sent some cool patterns. This is Autumn Skies. Beautiful, beautiful. I love those blues and oranges. That is designed by Angelus Tucker. It's an It's So Emma pattern. I'm going to list all of these below. So if you are interested in going on their website and seeing what they look like and all the dimensions and everything, you can. This is the February Stackables. This is another one of their series that they have, and by It's So Emma. Another quilt pattern. This is Frisia. This will be a future giveaway. This is Home Again Vintage 2-color quilt. It's designed by Lori Holt, but that is a beautiful quilt. And they also have fabric requirements on the back, of course, but then they have other color options. So if you want to change the colorway, they have a grid and a way of helping you with those colorways. This is a beautiful book. This is called Summer Memories. It is a quilt and a cross stitch book, but this is by Susan Ake. And isn't that beautiful? All the reds, the whites, and the blues, and then all of these cross stitch patterns are in here. Let me show you. So lots of quilt patterns, a beautiful book. And here are some of the patterns you'll see. Quilt patterns. Just reminds me of my grandmother's quilts. Beautiful quilts. But here are some of the cross stitch patterns in this book. I think there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cross stitch patterns in this booklet. Here's one, Cherry Season. So fun, and it's using the same reds, blues, whites. This is Freedom Flowers. Just a great book. So this will be a future giveaway as well. This will probably be next week or the week after. So stay tuned for those, but I will list them below so that you can go look at them in more detail if you'd like. So that is my Happy Mail from a viewer and from Fat Quarter Shop. And then I did get, while I was away, a antique sampler in the mail. And this one is one of my favorites that I have received in a long time. But here it is. I love the way that these blues pop with these reds. And let me just start up here at the top for you. And look, there's another heart. The last one I showed you had a heart. These beautiful eyelet stitches. And right over here, we have a deer. I am not sure what this blue thing is. I'll have to look at that. But look, here's a bunny and a rooster and a chicken and another bunny. So beautiful. So much fun, and it's a great size. So that was fun to get in the mail while I was gone. I can't wait to study it a little bit more under the magnifying lamp. So that's my Happy Mail. Some dates to remember I wanted to go over with y'all. On April the 15th, I will be at Cross Stitch and Crafts in Johnson City, Tennessee for a meet and greet. I like to go there about twice a year. Sandra twice a year for a meet and greet. I go there often, more often than that, but Sandra asked if I could come this spring for a meet and greet. I usually go about twice a year, usually in the spring and usually in the winter. So this year we are doing April the 15th at her shop. I love going to Johnson City. I love going to their store. They have such a wonderful community of stitchers that go there and hang out. And it's such a fun environment. Amy and Sandra just have a way of making you feel at home. They're friendly. They're great if you want to call and order something. If you cannot make it to their store, they are just fantastic. They're one of those places that I'll order something and I get it within a day or two of me placing the order because of the way they just go to the mail. They go to the post office so often. So I will be there on April the 15th from 11 until 4, I believe. I'll have to go back and look at my notes, but I'll list it below the times. And that will be a great spring day to come and visit, and hopefully we get to chat and see all of the spring stitching things going on. So April the 15th, Johnson City, Tennessee, Cross Stitch and Crafts. And then the retreat that I am co-hosting with Stitch Etc. That is the Samplers Remembered retreat. That is September 21st through the 24th. We still have a few spaces available. I think we have just a handful. If you're interested, let me know. You can email me. I also have the information on my website, on my Facebook page, and so does Stitch Etc. If you are interested and would like to attend, I'll be glad to get that information to you. So it will be in Franklin, Tennessee, and the guest designer is Little Robin Designs. So she is going to reproduce a beautiful sampler for us, and it is going to be a wonderful weekend of learning about her process in designing, and she's going to teach a couple of classes. It's going to be a lot of fun. So September 21st through the 24th, or really the 23rd, but the 24th is checkout day, and it will be in Franklin, Tennessee. And I think that's everything. I do have the other retreat this summer, but it is booked. It is the Stitching with the Housewives retreat that I'm also co-hosting with Stitch Etc. And it is going to be Americana Stars, Stripes, and Stitching retreat is the name of it. So it's going to be a lot of fun to share that with you too. So let's jump into this week's giveaways. Let me see where I put them. I know they are here. I think. Yep, they're all right here. Okay, so this week we have a blend of, we have 7 giveaways this week. And let me put one note on this one. Okay, so, oh, and one other thing I wanted to tell you before I do the giveaways. Merritt Crawford, that I've mentioned, is doing the stitch along with us. I am so sorry, I have brain fog today. Merritt Crawford, the Just Because Buzz. I watched her Flosstube yesterday, and I've been chatting with her recently, but she had some exciting news on her Flosstube that she shared yesterday. She is designing and reproducing silhouette and smaller samplers right now. If you want to go and check out what she has on her latest video, she has the cutest little silhouette, vintage silhouette reproduction that she just released yesterday. And I just love those silhouettes. They're so cute. So if you want to go and check out her Instagram page and her Flosstube, you can get all the information from her. But it is a fantastic little quick stitch. So cute. Okay, so let's do this week's giveaway. So like I said, to enter to win, be a subscriber, like the video, and comment in the comments below. Please don't send me a comment on Instagram or Facebook or an email. The only way the random comment picker pulls is from the comments below. It's a link. The way it works, it does not pull from anywhere else, unfortunately. So comment below and I will enter you to win. So this week's question is going to be, and then answer the question below with the number that you would like to be entered to win. So this week's question will be, let me think. And Matthew told me I say too much. And then once I heard that, which I love feedback, I can't stop saying it now. So we should thank him. Okay, I did it again. So here we go. This week's question is, what is, I've asked that recently. Let me think. Okay, let's do these first, and then usually that's how it works, is the question will pop into my mind. Okay, number 1, there are 2 opportunities to win Chicken Club Florence. This is number 2 in the 12 books that they will be releasing. This is the second one, sorry, but this is number 1 for my drawing. Number 1, Chicken Club. We have 2 opportunities to win that. Number 1. Number 2, we also have 2 opportunities for this. This is Autumn Skies quilt pattern from It's So Emma. That is number 2. Number 3 is Stackables February. There are 2 of these as well. So this is number 3. Number 4 is from our Happy Mail from today, The Sampler Company by Brenda Keys. This is an old one, and it is beautiful. The Sampler Company. That is number 4. Number 5 is the Scarlet House Floral Motif Sampler. That's number 5. Number 6 is a Plum Street Samplers, a Red Cottage. That is number 6. And number 7 is Little House Needleworks, Home of a Needleworker. That is number 7. So to enter to win, answer below the question, what is your favorite color? What is your favorite color? Mine's blue. We all know my favorite color is blue. So if you had to choose a favorite color, what would yours be? I would love to know. I know it took me a while to think of that question, but I really do like to know these things. My favorite color is blue. Answer the question below, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then list the number that you would like to be entered to win. So Hopefully next week I will be on time. I will see you all on Friday, and I will hopefully have more stitching to share with you. It's just been one of those weeks. So go ahead and tell me your favorite color. Enjoy your weekend, and I hope you find some stitchy time. Thanks.